It's a glorious Wednesday. My name is Misha. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm just a real woman who got super sick, like most of you are feeling, and got better when all of those others didn't help me. So we're going to talk about that today because I want to talk about why nothing you've tried for your health has worked, and we're going to talk about what finally does. Because here's some truths for you guys. Let's stop. Well, first of all, welcome in Norman. I see you. Anonymous, welcome in. Um, Coach, I see you too. You guys, let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know if you're not feeling well. What is it that you're suffering with? Is it energy? Is it weight? Is it brain fog? Is it joint pain? What are you suffering with? We're going to talk about all of this. Welcome in, Keith and Simone. Welcome in, you guys. We're going to talk about why nothing has worked and what finally does. Backed in science, we're going to go over it. So you're not failing. You guys are not failing. I wasn't failing. We've all been set up to fail. The system, the food system, the medical system we're in today, the system in general, has set us up. It's engineered to keep us sick, hungry, and exhausted. And it's time you knew the truth about what's really going on. Okay? Welcome in, Norman. Thank you, Apple Pie. Welcome in, Brandon. Welcome in. So I'm exposing the real reason why your health hasn't improved, even when you've done everything right. Because there's so much information out there right now. This is just one piece, but I hope you hear me. So, spoiler alert, why you're sick is not about your willpower. It really is about the system that's working against you, even when you've done everything right. So just stay with me for a second. We're going to hear what they're not telling you. You're going to hear how to finally break free, and you're going to start understanding how you can start feeling better, just like I did and the hundreds of people that I've helped along the way. So thanks for hopping on, you guys. I see all of you. Patricia, welcome in. You guys, this is so important because all of us are struggling. How many of you guys are struggling with some health issue? Put a hand up, tap the hearts. Let me know. Are you tired all the time? Are you hungry all the time? Are you can't sleep well? Are you worried about diabetes? Are you worried about your joints? Are you worried about your liver, your kidneys, your heart, your hair, your skin, all of that? You guys, there's one thing that links into all of those, and it is called insulin resistance. We're going to go over it. Laura, welcome in. Insomnia, that's a good one. So insomnia ties into this too, because your brain gets insulin resistant at the same time as your body, meaning your brain does not get the cues it needs, meaning your brain does not get the energy it needs, meaning your brain cannot function and the neural pathways in there are not working like they're supposed to. You're getting mixed messages and you're not getting energy to the brain, so you're tired. Okay? And you have anxiety and insomnia and all these other things that go along with it. Sleep apnea is very linked in, and I'll go over why. Once you start addressing insulin resistance and get that hormone of insulin under control, you'll start to sleep better. You'll start to lose some fat. Your skin will look better. Your hair will look better. My eyesight came back in. Now, I had somebody say, she says her eyesight came back, but she's still wearing glasses. Okay, I'm 61. At 56, my readers were at 3.0 diopter. 4 years later, following this same protocol you guys are going to look at in just a minute, my diopter is 1.75, about where it was in my 40s when I started this journey. So yeah, is it going to give me perfect eyesight back? No. Is it helping me be able to see the world more clearly, be able to live better? Absolutely it is. And it can happen for you guys too. That's why I'm so excited and I'm here. Crafty, I see you too. So you've tried the diets, right? You've taken the pills. You've followed their rules, but your body's still inflamed. You're still tired, and the scale is still stuck. You go to the doctor maybe, and they say, your labs look fine. That happened to me. For years, my labs were fine. I was suffering like, doc, I'm not crazy. Something is wrong. Your labs are fine. Eat better. Exercise more. Shoot, you guys, I was a world champion athlete. I lifted, worked out 6 days a week, 3 hours a day. How much more do you want me to do? How much more, doc? What more am I supposed to do to get this under control? Not everybody's not going to do that. And that's not a realistic solution for everybody. We're going to break it down. So you've been told that it's all your fault, that you just need more willpower, that it's your hormones, your age, your mindset. But I want to tell you something that might shift everything for you. Okay. You're not failing. And this is my mantra, you guys. I want you to understand this. You are not failing, you're being failed by a system that's engineered to keep you sick, tired, and constantly chasing your next food, energy, nutrition fix. And it's not working. Because if it was working, we wouldn't be having all of these needs to chase that next fix, to do that next thing. Like, oh, we're human beings. We burn through calories. We burn through energy. We burn through nutrients. We need more. I'm not doubting that. But we don't need as much as we're getting. We don't need as much as we're being told. Hey, Jason. Hey, Axel. Hey, Kamermook. I can't say it. Sherry, Eddie, welcome in. You guys. So let me ask you this. Are you gaining weight even when you're barely eating? Because you're told to eat less. So you eat less, but you're still gaining weight, or you can't lose it. You're still feeling tired, or you just can't ever seem to have energy. So are you waking up tired even after hours of sleep? Do you see dark patches on your neck, or little skin tags popping up on your neck, your underarms, your groin, other unmentionable places? You guys, all this happening and you're being told it's just your age? It's just natural. It's not. It's not. Stop thinking that you have to have all these skin conditions, you have to have all these other things because it's just part of aging, or it's just my genetics. It is not. You're being lied to. And you've been lied to for so long that we all believed it. And that's a tragedy. It's really a tragedy, you guys. We shouldn't be living like this. We shouldn't be suffering like this. So, is your blood pressure creeping up? Are you up every night to pee, or constantly thirsty even after you've drank plenty of water? Do you feel tired even after a full night's sleep? Do you crash midday and need caffeine or sugar to function, to get through the rest of the day, to make it home to your family? And then, oh my gosh, they want more energy from you, right? So does your body just feel stuck? Does any of this sound familiar to any of you? You wake up tired, you go to work tired, you come home tired, you just don't have enough energy for your job, your family, anybody? And you know that life isn't supposed to be like this. I want you guys to know, Karen, Camera, see you guys, Camera, I see you again, Roxy. You guys know that we are not meant to live like this. We're not supposed to be suffering like this with our health every day. We're just not. We have been bamboozled and fed food that's making us sick. And it's time we break that loose and understand one thing I'm going to get to here in a minute. Our food is so defunct that we do have to supplement. There's just no feasible way for the majority of us to get the nutrients our body is meant to get out of the food that we have in the stores today. So unless you're living on a mountainside, growing heirloom seeds, doing all the work, growing your own cattle and chicken and all that, you're just not getting what you need. And there's just no way most of us can do that. So let's stop gaslighting people into thinking that you just need to do better. How about we start looking at the system that's giving us the information that made us sick in the first place? And that's where we're at. So if it sounds familiar, hang out. It's not random. Our food is addictive by design. And the advice they're giving you, it's outdated. It's so old, it's not working anymore, and it's been disproven, but they still keep giving it to you. I remember not too long ago, a woman who was a diabetes educator 47 years ago was mad at me for the information I'm bringing. But it's because she was giving the same old information that were making diabetics even sicker. But she bought it. She sold it. She believed it. And there's no way I was going to change her mind. And that's sad. But the rest of you guys, listen up, because everything has changed in the last 47 years. Have an orange juice when your blood sugar dips, and have snacks every 2 hours. Those are bad, damning advice that we've all been given. Okay? So all the while, you've been given this advice. You've been given medications that are designed to manage symptoms, but they're not addressing the problem. Okay? CZL, see you. Welcome in, you guys. Sarah, I see you too. So, you're not lazy. You're not broken. Let's break it down. You've been lied to. And today I'm going to pull back that curtain, because this is not about motivation. It's about biology. And once you understand what's really going on inside your body and finally understand why nothing else has worked and why this can, you'll actually start to get control of your health again, much simpler than you ever thought. So drop a heart in the chat if you're ready to hear more about this truth, because we're going on. Look, the truth I'm going to bring to you, it's not Ozempic. You guys, that drug is so damaging, and I'm going to just say it clearly. It's not Ozempic or any of the jabs. I would never advocate for those. They're just so damning. It's not a cleanse or a gimmick. It's a simple rhythm that I follow and thousands of other people follow that works with our body because we're turning back the clock. We're going back to say, wait, how were our bodies meant to function? Because this is not it. So we're learning to work with our body, not against it. And it's built on science and not hype because they've gone back and said, what does the human body need? So if you want to see exactly what I'm doing, drop the word help in the chat. And if I don't see it now, I will come back and I will get this information to you in a bit, okay? Or just message me on any platform that I'm on and get this information because it's super important for you, okay? I'm not here to sell you hype. I'm here to walk you out of this trap that we're in, that we've been sold into. Basically, we're slaves to the food that we're eating, and that's a tragedy. You guys, we shouldn't be. So let's go. You've been doing everything right. Hopefully you've been doing everything right. Hopefully you've been following at least some of the information you've gotten, so you're trying, right? But you still feel broken. Do you have little skin flaps? So skin takes I was talking about that are showing up under your arms, neck, on your eyelids? Are there dark patches on your skin that haven't always been there? Maybe you've got melasma going out of control. Maybe you've got those dark rings around your neck. Maybe, like for me, your elbows and knees are just dark and what we call ashy, and the skin wants to catch on all your clothes. That's insulin resistance, you guys. It's not a genetic issue. It's not an inherent skin issue. It's an insulin issue. Too much insulin causing too much growth in melanocytes and keratinocytes. You guys, it's just too much. And so when our body is inundated with insulin, let's break this down really quick, okay? Insulin is a hormone that carries the energy in the form of glucose or sugar out of your bloodstream and into the cells where it belongs. But when our cells are so overwhelmed with insulin all the time, like they are today, because we're eating every 2 hours, because we're eating the wrong foods, because we're not getting in enough fiber and we're not getting in enough the nutrients, our bodies just are starving, even though there's all this sugar in our bloodstream, because insulin can no longer deliver it because our cells have said, no, you're an annoyance. I don't want you around. Except for some cells, like those skin cells, and they take in too much because there's just so much to go around, right? The other cells that take it in, you guys, the other cells, no surprise, the other cells that take in the excess insulin are your fat cells. Why are you gaining weight and can't lose it? It's not just about the calories. It's about regulating that hormone, insulin. And until you understand that, you're not going to be able to lose weight permanently or find your health permanently. This is a permanent solution, not a Band-Aid fix. So, okay. You've been doing what they told you. You wake up tired. You drag yourself through the day. The weight doesn't budge. The brain fog won't lift. The cravings keep calling. Does that sound familiar? Anybody feel like, oh my God, she's talking to me? Because, oh my God, I'm talking to me too. Like, that's how I was 4 years ago, you guys. It was horrible. So now you're wondering, is this just aging? Is there something wrong with me? Do I just have bad genetics? Why does my body feel like it's turning against me? You guys, it's not genetics. It's not that you're broken. It is that you're being given the wrong foods to supply your body with its needs, okay? And you wouldn't know that unless you were some kind of scientist, nutritionist, whatever. You go to the store, you buy food that says healthy, and you think you're getting something healthy, but you're not. Okay, you're not. They're pretty smart up there in those big companies, shoving sawdust in your food and calling it fiber and giving you toxic waste oil and calling it healthy seed oils. You guys, they're taking their waste and feeding it to you, and you're eating it up, and then you're sick. And then you get put on a pill and you're like, I want the easy way out. I'm going to take the pill and it's going to cure everything. And it's not. It's going to make it worse. Okay. Anybody have Penny K? Welcome. Thank you so much. So look, drop a me in the comments if you've been there, because I've been there too. That's why I'm here. Why I get so excited, why I get so inflamed, because I worked in medical. I lived all this stuff and I was sick, and nobody was helping me because they didn't know how. So now we're getting information. You're going to know how. Okay. So you're not the problem. You're stuck in a system that is. You're going to keep hearing me say that. I want you to understand that. It's a system that's designed to make you blame yourself so they can keep pushing foods on you that hijack your hunger and actually make you addicted to the food that you're eating. How many of you guys have ever started eating, I don't know, a bag of chips Oreo cookies, and you just feel like you can't stop. You're like, what's wrong with me? Why do I open up a bag of chips and I can't just have a handful? I got to have the whole damn bag, right? Does anybody feel that? Like it's just, you wake up, I call it food coma. You wake up when you're done and you're like, what the heck just happened? Your food has been engineered to do this to you, so you'll keep buying and eating more. It's not engineered to give you nutrients so you feel satisfied, satiated, and healthy. Let's just get that straight. You guys got to understand that. Completely understand that. Okay? You have been sold toxic food, and that's why you're sick. So, what do we do? We're going to get to that. So, the system is failing you. What you're feeling, that's not random. Okay? It's not just your age, it's not just your genetics, it is insulin resistance. It's a hidden disorder. It's a silent breakdown in your metabolism that no one has talked to you about. Metabolism. Metabolism deals with how your body ingests and uses energy as food, and food is an energy source for our body. So let's talk about this. If you have a gas car, would you pull up and put diesel in it and expect your car to run and not break down? That gas engine wasn't built for that diesel. And yet that's what we're doing to our bodies. We're putting fuel in our bodies, but that wasn't designed for us. It was never meant for us. And we're wondering why we're sick and breaking down. Makes sense? Makes sense to you guys? Because, man, when I started really grasping this, I'm like, no wonder I had these little issues my entire life, even though the doc said, hey, your labs are fine, you're fine. And I'm like, no, I'm not. There's stuff going on, and I want to know what's happening. Do you guys feel like that? Like, why is A, B, C, D, E, F, G all happening to me, and you're not helping me understand? You're the doc. You're supposed to tell me, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? What do I need to do? And they give you bad information, or they just tell you, eat less, move more. We could all do that. But this is not about calorie counting. This is not about extreme workouts. This is about functioning with your body, getting the food to function with your body so that you can work out more. Because how many of you guys, let's pause for a second. We say eat less, work out more, yet you're tired, you're emotional, and you hurt. Tired, emotional, and physically hurt people don't feel like getting up and working out. Even though they need to, it's so painful, they just can't. And if you've been there and been like, I know I need to go work out, but I'm just not going to get up and do it because I could use that extra hour in my bed. I'm just tired. I just need the day off. I'll do it tomorrow. How many of you guys have done that? Because I've done it. I'll admit it. And we're not meant to be that way. We're meant to wake up, have energy, go do cool stuff. Life is for living. It's not for sitting in a dark corner wondering when we're going to feel better, wondering when the next miracle is going to come out that's going to help us feel better. The miracle that's coming out that's going to make you feel better is this. Understand the food that you've been given is toxic to your body. Understand that it's depleted of nutrients. Understand that it's pumped full of too much sugar. And when we can start to address that, not by drastically changing your diet, not by cutting back all your calories, not by going and doing crazy workouts, you can start to heal. So we're going to deal with it, okay? So your signs are everywhere. Those cravings that won't stop, belly fat that won't budge. How many of you guys have belly fat that just won't go anywhere no matter what you do? No matter how much soursop you drink, no matter how much berberine you take, no matter how much of these things that are out there that your weight just won't budge, because it's not a calorie issue as much as it is a hormone issue. And until we understand the hormone and how to take care of the hormone that regulates our metabolism, we're just not going to get better. Because you can eat clean. I have a number of people who are vegetarian or pescatarian, ate really clean, bought everything from the farmer's market, and yet the state of our food today had them still feeling not at the top of their game. And they thought this couldn't help them. But when they started, one of them thought she only had 5 pounds to lose. She started the system, easily lost 20 pounds, had to start eating more because her body, her metabolism actually fired up. And she didn't do it eating every 2 hours. She didn't do it cutting back her calories. Did you hear me? She had to eat more in order to lose weight. She just had to get in the tools, the stuff that fills in the gaps of what's happening with our food today. And that's the real truth. You guys, that is the truth. So anxiety, fatigue, mood swings, swelling, inflammation, pain, skin takes, headaches, poor sleep. Anybody feel that? Thank you, Keith. Thank you so much. Because the more you guys like this, the more somebody else gets to hear it. Okay. So has your blood pressure crept up? Meaning that it's 130 over 80 or higher. That's high blood pressure. We all think, oh, it's not that bad. I can live with it. We're good. We're kind of in the safe zone. No, you're not. 130 over 80 is too high. You got to get that blood pressure down. Most people don't know insulin resistance, meaning too much insulin, is the main cause of high blood pressure. You don't need statins and pills to fix it. You need to understand the hormone insulin and how to work with it in your body. We're going to go over that, I promise. Okay, so now you were told to eat less, move more, and when it didn't work, the doctors, the nutritionists, the gym bros made you feel like you failed, like you're just broken. If you just tried harder, you would feel better. You just don't get it. You just don't get it. But work with me, you're going to. None of them give you a money back guarantee. None of them tell you all the stuff I'm telling you now. They just say, follow this little piece of advice from me. And the other symptoms you're having, they don't matter. Well, they do. All the symptoms are linked in together. Anxiety, fatigue, brain fog, skin issues, that belly fat, the constant hunger, peeing all the time, liver's failing, kidneys failing, joints failing. It's all linked to one thing called insulin. And how many of you guys have ever heard your doctor say, you got this whole list of stuff going on? Dude, let's address your insulin and maybe you'll start to feel better. And here's my view on it, you guys, real quick. My view is this. Insulin is like the elephant in the room, okay? You may have a cluttered house. You may have stuff breaking down, but if that elephant is sitting in the room, how are you ever going to see the floorboards or the walls or anything? You can't until you get that elephant out. Insulin is the elephant. Got to get it out. Now, if there's stuff left over, guess what? Your doc can actually address it. Okay? Because this isn't going to solve everything, but it's sure going to clear room for us to see what may really be going on with you. But you got to get the insulin out first so they have a clear. It's like trying to go through the woods and trying to take a trail that's overgrown with weeds, with trees, with grasses, with bushes, and you just can't walk through it, right? You want to be on that trail, but you can't get through it. So you got to clear it out so you can walk through. Insulin, you got to clear it out so you can walk through to better health. Okay? So behind the scenes, insulin resistance is quietly building things like high blood pressure, PCOS or other hormonal chaos, fatty liver, brain fog, sleep apnea, blood sugar swings, and eventually diabetes. Yes, insulin resistance is the root of diabetes as far as diseases. What's at the root of insulin resistance? Insulin, the hormone, is out of control because we have too much sugar, too little fiber, too little of other nutrients, right? So we're getting to the root. But you got to start with insulin. What do we do to fix the insulin overload in our system? When we figure that out, I was diabetic type 2 4 years ago. You run my labs now. You look at my stuff now. If I were to go into a brand new doctor and just say, check me out, what's wrong? They would never guess diabetes because it's not present in my blood work, in my system, anywhere. Skin take's gone. Dark skin coloration gone. Eyesight's better. Teeth and gums are not bleeding anymore. My hair is growing in. Okay. I was losing my hair. My skin looks better. I'm 61. I feel freaking great. My joint deterioration stopped. I know I've had 3 joint replacements, don't need to have any more. Now, if I had 3 joint replacements starting in my mid-50s or my early 50s, and I don't need any more now because my joints aren't failing, is aging really the problem? No, I think you know that it's not. Okay. You guys, thank you for following. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I want you to understand that and if you have something that you're wondering, is this linked to insulin resistance? You can either put it in the chat or message me and I will tell you. Okay. And I am not the doctor or the scientist, but I follow the ones who know. Sorry. This guy, Dr. Ben Bickman, wrote this book, Why We Get Sick. And it's all about metabolism, insulin, and all the disorders or a number of disorders that are linked to it. That's where my information comes from. And if somebody brings up something that says it's not in his book, I go do the research to find if there's a link. And More than 9 times out of 10, I found links. Does it mean that insulin is going to cause a disease? No. But does it mean that with most diseases, disorders, insulin either causes or makes it worse? My favorite word, exacerbates it. Absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. So you could be suffering with psoriasis, and maybe you're never going to get psoriasis gone, but did you know that insulin resistance and the excess sugar is causing excess psoriatic flares? I have a number of people who had unbearable psoriatic flares. They started the system, they got their insulin under control, and they do not have psoriatic flares anymore. Does that gene go away in them? No. Do the painful flares and the embarrassing skin issues go away? Absolutely, they did. People with Hashimoto's are feeling better from their thyroid. Ladies with PCOS who were told they couldn't have children are having children, and all they did was address their insulin. You guys understand that it's that important. Okay, again, one more time. Then let me say it clearly. This is not about weight. It's not about willpower. It's about the root issue that's been ignored by the very system that you think is helping you. You didn't fail. The system failed you. Okay, the system failed you. Welcome in, Barbie. Welcome in, Connie. If you guys have questions, let me know. I love answering questions where I can. And guess what? If I don't know the answer, I'll go research it and get it back to you. Okay? So now that you know the truth, insulin is the problem, you finally have the power to change. So let's talk about it though. How did we get here? Because the system set you up. They set you up on purpose. So let's break it down. Because if you're sitting here blaming yourself for the weight, the cravings, the inflammation, the exhaustion, the brain fog, the fact that you can no longer function and be a good part of your family, if you're a parent and you have kids and you can't go play with them and you just want to come home and sit on the couch, is it that you're lazy? Is it that you're doing too much, not doing enough? No, it's because you've been lied to. It's not your fault. It's the system. You were set up from the start. You were born into a food culture that's designed to confuse you, to control you, and to keep you coming back for more. Do you guys feel that? Do you feel some truth drop in that? Like, yep. You know what? My kids bring stuff to me now, and I'm like, this is so funny. I've been trying to talk to you guys about stuff for 20 years, and you didn't listen to me. I was the crazy old lady, but now, yeah, science is falling in line, and we're seeing all of these things come true. So if you're feeling this way, if you're feeling like you've been failed and you're just frustrated because you don't know what you're supposed to do to get better, we're going to talk about it. I promise. Okay, so we were bamboozled. We were just straight up lied to. The food you're eating is not real nourishment. It's highly processed, nutrient deficient filler made to hit your dopamine receptors, not your nutritional needs. So you hit your dopamine receptors and that falls off and you're like, oh, I want that feeling again. Let's go get some more food. They designed it to make you do that, to make you say, I need more. I want more. Your body didn't need it, but you think you did because you're now addicted to this trash food they're feeding us. Okay. So the fiber that your gut needs, guess what? It's been stripped out. You know what they replaced it with? Does anybody know when a food says high fiber or increased fiber or whatever, do you know what's actually in that food? You're trusting that it's edible plant fibers, right? Do you know what's really in there? Sawdust, wood pulp. They renamed it as cellulose. So you would buy it and eat it. Because if you bought your box of cereal and it said high in fiber and you read that it had sawdust in it, would you want to pay $5 a box for that cereal that's sawdust? But you do because nobody's told you. I hate cereal. I mean, my taste buds love it, but I don't have it in my house because it's such trash for us, right? Okay, so I don't know what that name is, but I can't repeat it on live here. Okay, so highly processed, nutrient deficient filler. Okay, the fats your hormones rely on. Do you know that your hormones need fats to reproduce and do their job? I'm not just talking about insulin. I'm talking about all your hormones: testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, thyroid hormones, your hunger and satiety hormones, your cortisol. Your hormones need healthy fat, and yet they've been replaced with toxic inflammatory seed oils. The fats you guys should be focusing on are extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, butter, ghee, animal fats. Stop taking the yolk out of your egg. Eat that damn yolk. It's good for your hormones. Did you know that? Did you know that? Suffering with hormonal issues, trying to eat low fat and eating a ton of packaged foods, that's the problem. But nobody's told you that. They told you the opposite. They told you eating all those foods was going to make you healthier, going to make you thinner, going to make you stronger, going to make you, have more energy. And did it? Did it? Or did you get sicker? Because I'm going to bet you got sicker, right? It's trash food. And unfortunately, as good as it tastes, and I still eat some of it too, as good as it tastes, it's not good for us, right? But what do we do when that's all we really have available to us? Unless you want to start gardening out of your back porch or whatever, you just can't, right? Hey, Maria, it's so good to see you. Welcome in, Laura, Calvin, you guys. So if they've taken the nutrients out, they've taken the fats out and given you filler fats, they've taken the fiber out and they've given you filler fiber, and the nutrients that your cells need to repair, they're gone because we're not rotating crops. We're not fertilizing our soil. They've been depleted by industrial farming and soil exhaustion. So what's left? Sugar, chemicals, empty carbs, packaged into shelf-stable addictive formulas that hijack your biology and leave your body starving. So it's not just overeating, it's engineered addiction. So if they can feed you food that has all the good stuff stripped out and all the stuff that's making you sick and addicted put back in, any wonder why you're struggling? Do you wonder? Hey, Andy, that's exactly why you're struggling, okay? Did you guys know one of the reasons I say fiber is an essential nutrient? It doesn't directly neutralize your body, but what it does is it feeds your gut microbiome. Fiber is undigestible carbohydrates, but fiber isn't very shelf stable. Fiber, the more fiber something has in it, the quicker it's going to mold and decay. We don't want that, right? We want stuff that can sit on our shelf for 3 months, right? No, we don't. No, we don't. We think we do, but we don't. Can't get off omeprazole without having a ton of acid and stomach is bloated 24/7, even when I wake. Sunny, let's pause and talk about this for Sunny. Thank you for that question. So let's talk about that. When you have insulin resistance, when you're getting too much sugar, and there's a twofold story here. There's a couple of things happening. Yeah, you also eat healthy. So did you guys know fruits and vegetables are carbohydrates? Because most people skip that. Fruits and vegetables, outside of the nutrient pieces, right? And hopefully some fiber in them, they break down to glucose, sugar in your system. And yet, even that's been engineered to have fiber removed. In fact, I was watching a guy, he does Disney conspiracy theories, but he's been doing some others, and he did one on food today that was brilliant. He was showing what foods are supposed to look like and what they look like now, and some of it's rubbery, isn't crisp and breaks off. Fiber does that. Fiber gives you that crispness. If your food is feeling rubbery, if you can pull on your bananas and they're like kind of twisting and bending and not snapping, there's a problem. Our foods weren't supposed to look like that. Start paying attention. Okay, so now you eat healthy, but you have this acidic stomach. I have an acidic stomach too. But you're skinny with a huge belly. What can you even do? You're trying to get off omeprazole with Pepcid. All right. So I used to eat omeprazole, Pepcid, Tums like candy because I had this acid reflux that wouldn't go away. Number one thing, Sunny, I would invite you to do is go through your cupboards, get rid of anything with seed oil in it. You're going to find that you're going to start to do much better. And that means checking your food labels because almost every packaged food that's in your shelf has seed oil in it. And it's extremely inflammatory to your body and it will cause more acid reflux in your gut. In fact, now that I've been eating cleaner, now that I've been instituting this system, when I get seed oils, I get drastically sick. And because my body has a difference now, I'm not inundated with those. So if I go to Applebee's, to like Chick-fil-A is off my list, McDonald's is off my list. Most of those restaurants are off my list because I get physically ill after eating there. Now that my body has desensitized from all those toxic foods that they fed us, right? But they're prevalent everywhere. So if you think you're eating healthy, make sure you're keeping the seed oils out. Switch over to those oils I talked. Go get my book called 6 Simple Steps to Overcoming Managing Insulin Resistance, and it's going to give you some of these steps and all the directions so you can have that to look at, to go back to, and so you don't have to be like, what did that lady say? Okay, there's an ebook. Go to my link, you can download it. All right, but in the gut, insulin resistance starts to slow down the motility in your gut, starts to freeze up your gut. It also makes it so that you cannot absorb enough nutrients. Now your gut's unbalanced. You have way more acid production in your stomach. Seed oils and sugar are doing that predominantly, okay? We got to figure out how to control those, and that goes away. By the way, the pre-meal drink I drink, Sunny, the pre-meal drink that I drink, I mention this all the time. I mentioned it on a team meeting because yes, I do sell this stuff. But I use this if I have breakthrough acidic stomach. Native, I call it native gut. We have acidic guts, okay? We're not used to this crap food. So I drink this. I never take omeprazole. I never take Tums. I never take Pepcid. This works with my gut to start healing up that acid, that inflammation in my gut so that I can start feeling better. Now, sugar is also feeding negative gut microbiome. So now you're getting an overgrowth of yeast and some of the things that cause acidity, some of the things that cause IBS and Crohn's and all of the other. So top to bottom, you're getting sick because too much sugar, too much oil, too much insulin in your gut. Reverse that. Allow that to normalize. And we're going to talk about how you're doing that in just a minute. And you'll start to see a relief from that. Now, I never have acid reflux. There's 2 times when I have acid reflux. When I eat out and get food that has oils in it. There's a lot of packaged foods I just don't buy anymore because I know they're making me sick. And if they're making my gut sick, they're making everything else sick. And I want you to understand that, Sunny. So sugar is the next one. When I get high amounts of sugar or seed oils, I will get that acid reflux. I will get sick and it will happen within a few hours. That's how toxic it is. Try to start reducing that. But here's the thing. That sugar that's feeding the negative gut microbiome, this feeds the positive gut microbiome, slows down the absorption of the sugar, helps you get rid of some of it so that you have a more normal blood sugar and insulin panel. That's what this does. So we're going to go over that in a minute. Let me set, because there's a bunch more comments here. If I missed your comment in all of that, please, please, please ask again. Where can we eat out healthier? Maria, that is a tough one. So it's really hard to eat out healthier. You know, even in restaurants where you think that, well, this menu looks good and they all throw these oils in. So you're going to have to make different choices, right? You want to make choices that aren't deep fried or when you're out. Like I've noticed that I make a version of those foods at home and use less seed oils and sugars, and I do fine. I do fine. You guys, I don't restrict what I eat. I limit how often I eat out. Number one, I make sure I have at least one of these when I eat out, possibly 2 to help with all of the stuff that's going to happen from those things in my body, right? And I get it. Like this system, you guys, I want you to understand this. Maria, thank you for the question, because this system, this protocol is not meant to make you feel like you got to struggle, like you can't live life, like you can't go out with your friends. Like, you know, Friday night, the girls want to go out. Friday night, the guys want to go out. Friday night, you want to go have dinner with your family. You can still do that. You don't have to be like, oh, I got to raise everything at home. I got to cook everything at home. You just want to do better most of the time and allow yourself those other times. You'll stick with things better when you don't feel like you're suffering through it. This doesn't make you suffer through it. So Maria, check the menus. Find out when you go into a restaurant, ask them if they cook it in seed oil, if there's excess sugar added. And if they do, ask them to not, or give you a version that's not saturated in those seed oils, okay? You guys, here's one thing I've learned over this journey is we all have to, I have been missing it. Penny, you've been on the system for 10 months and you've been off acid meds since week 2. Penny K, thank you for that. Exactly that. You guys, insulin causes that dysfunction in your gut. Like I said, in your intestines and in your stomach, the gut, the whole thing. And it starts to cause this imbalance, acid reflux, IBS. It can contribute to, come on, the little finger-like things in your intestines. It's gone from my mind. I'll figure it out. Diverticuli. Okay, so 10 months, Penny's been off of her acid meds. Sunny, that should give you an answer. No more reflux, right? I don't have, on a day-to-day basis, I don't have reflux. I don't have that burning pain. I don't have to sleep with pillows under my head so that that reflux doesn't keep coming up my throat. If you have reflux, you know what I'm talking about. I bet Penny's not dealing with that either. I can sleep normal now. I don't have to be like, I got 6 pillows under my head so that reflux isn't going to come up and burn my throat and make me feel sick in the night. You guys, understanding insulin helps you with that. Hey, Tammy. All right, so let's get back on it. So they've told you things like to fear fat, cut back fat, right? You've all heard that. Again, your hormones need the right fats. Avoid salt because salt's going to give you high blood pressure. Sugar, not salt, causes high blood pressure. They tell you to snack every few hours. We're going to go over what happens when you snack every few hours. They tell you to eat cereal for heart health and to drink juice for vitamins. Guess what? Lies. All of it is lies. Cereal is probably one of the worst foods we can eat. Fruit juice is damning to your liver. Eat the fruit. Stop drinking all the juice. Way too much sugar, not enough vitamins in it to justify the amount of sugar that you're delivering, right? Eat the apple, eat the orange, fine. Okay. And while you were trusting, they were profiting. All these slogans, all these taglines, right? You're buying into it. You're buying into it. I'm going to buy this cereal because it's heart healthy, and I'm going to buy that tea because it's going to do this for me, and I'm going to buy that product because it's better for me, and I'm going to buy that bread because it's going to help my gut more. And yet you've been lied to. Okay. Juice is 100% sugar water. So is watermelon. I call watermelon sugar water in a shell. It's not what we were meant to eat. You guys, watermelon should have seeds and fiber and stuff in the pulp to help slow us down from the sugar that we're eating. And yet we said, ooh, we like the sweet pulp. We don't want to deal with the fiber and the seeds. So just give us the pulp. Now we have this thing that should have been predominantly fiber and seeds, and we have fructose in a shell. Right? Pay attention to what you're eating. And if you don't know, keep coming back. We're going to talk about it. Okay? So you were trusting, they were profiting off your confusion, your cravings, your slow decline. How many of you guys feel like, dude, if I could just feel like I did in my early 20s? Years and years and years of bad food is making me sick. But now you're waking up tired, exhausted, frustrated, and that changes everything. Every bite, every sip, every healthy snack they push and tell you to eat spikes your insulin. Every time you put food in your mouth, every time you take a bite, every time you eat or drink something with sugar in it, you're spiking your insulin. Not homemade muffins, cookies. Okay, I missed that, Louise. So most wheat bread has sugars, molasses, seed oils, and muffins, cookies. Absolutely. A ton of seed oils in most of those. So you guys, I talked about this last week. You guys, by the way, there was a whole lot of chaos go on in my social media, and I couldn't be live. So we're still working through some. I'm not live on Facebook right now because a whole bunch of people got pooped on by Facebook yesterday. All right, I was one of them. Anyway, we're back. So I make more stuff at home now. Like I love oatmeal scotchies. It's one of those treats from childhood that makes me feel good. Okay, I'm aware food is nutrition, but we also have emotional triggers to our food. There are some dishes. Does everybody have a food, a dish that when you eat it, you just automatically get taken back to a time that was happy, that was joyful, that you just really want to relish that memory? Everybody has one of those food triggers. Everybody has at least one. For me, oatmeal scotchies was one. So yeah, comfort food, Penny. Exactly. So now I saw a video the other day, and this one cracks me up. Cottage cheese is having a moment. How many of you guys have jumped on the cottage cheese bandwagon? Careful of cottage cheese you're getting for the same reasons. Make sure it doesn't have all the seed oils and stuff in it. But I now make my oatmeal scotchies with half a cup of cottage cheese, an egg, a little bit of baking soda, salt, stevia, oats, gluten-free oats, and a little handful of those butterscotch chips. Okay. Amazing. And yeah, Penny K, I did a version of it, but I put yogurt in it, and I put chocolate in it, and I put coconut in it. And guess what? It tasted like the most amazing, like German chocolate lava cake, but almost entirely protein. You guys, there's better choices. Once we untrain from the bamboozling BS lies they've given us, there's tons of options out there for you to eat what you love without all the toxicity in it. Okay? Make sure that you're starting to take care of that a little bit at a time. I don't want anybody to feel like I got to go rush out tomorrow, clean out my fridge, just get rid of everything. Take it a footstep on a step at a time. I don't have that one in Penny K. I do have a digital cookbook where I try to like store all these recipes. Just reach out to me and I'll send it to you. It's a Canva link, and if you get that link and then just keep checking it, when I do update recipes in it, you'll get that update. Usually I keep it for all my customers, but if you're interested in that, just message me and I'll get you the link for it. Okay. The foods I eat, you guys, I grew up in North Idaho, hometown girl, hometown, Native American, North Idaho, grew up on a farm. My food is comfort food. Most of it's not super fancy. Most of it's not like, there's some things like, Marry Me chicken in there. There's some other things, and there's some recipes that use the balance and the unamate in there as well. Like I make some amazing protein shakes, like that taste like Chick-fil-A's uh, frozen lemonade using unamate, vanilla protein, and ice. It's pretty amazing, you guys, but just check that out. All right. So food doesn't have to be boring. We just have to know what we're putting in our body. So just be a little more careful with that and understand that this is what's happening, is it's causing this insulin resistance chaos in your body. So insulin is the real root, and they never told you that because they're giving you food and advice that spikes your insulin. So why would they want you to be on the insulin bandwagon if they know that that's going to reduce their chances of selling you food? Okay. Think about it. Just think about it. You don't have to do anything today. Just think about what I'm telling you. If it feels right, come back to me and talk to me. Okay. So they never told you the truth. I'm going to. So look, it's easy for someone on the outside to say, well, you should have known better. But here's the thing. And here is the thing. Most people were never taught this. When I grew up in North Idaho, I was shocked to know that city kids didn't know where their hamburgers came from. City kids didn't know that milk came from a cow, that I actually sat underneath a cow and did the milking. They didn't know that. You guys don't know because you're not taught. And is it your fault that you're not taught? Like I was a seamstress. Would it be your fault that you don't know how to put together a ski jacket like I can? You just weren't taught. Now you're getting taught. Okay. Lee, the VA, different type of VA than just went through my head. My son is military, so there we go. Okay, so we were raised on a system that taught us to trust labels, trust ads, trust experts. So how would you know what was hurting you when you were told it was helping you? How would you know? How would you know? Okay. How do you know what you don't know until someone tells you what you don't know? Right? That's what learning. This isn't your failure. It's their cover up. We're raised in a system that taught us to trust labels and ads and experts. Remember that. And now that you're learning, this makes you dangerous to them in the best way. Because when you know the truth, you stop the cycle. When you know the truth, you stop their gaslighting and you stop gaslighting others. You stop blaming yourself and you start taking your power back. The best way for you to show your family health is to get your health back yourself and start understanding. It cracks me up. Some people, their whole family is obese and they want to blame it on their genetics. Yeah, it's your genetics. It's how your mom taught you to eat. It's the food that got put on your table and that you replicated and passed down to your kids and passed down to your kids. And it's the health, all of that stuff. It's not the genetics. I've heard so many genetic scientists say our obesity rates and our disease rates have increased so much over the last 50 to 60 years. There's just no way our genetics have adapted and changed that quickly. So what has? What has is our food. Okay, so if you know that the food has caused the issue, that it's deficient, that it's full of crap, I'm going to use that word, Understand this. There is a protocol that helps you break that cycle. So let's start with that root of insulin resistance. I want you to think of your cells like a door. So when insulin knocks, that door is supposed to open, right? Insulin's bringing your energy to your doors of your cells, saying, knock, knock, I got a delivery for you, let me in. But your cells are sick of it. The cells are supposed to open the door, let that sugar, that energy into the cell for fuel. But when you're constantly eating, especially high carb, high sugar, low nutrient foods, insulin knocks all day long. And guess what? Eventually, your cells stop answering that knock. They're hearing it, they just don't care. I'm not going to open my door for that mess. Okay? That's what's happening. So you guys are on 2 different platforms. Let me see if I can catch up over here now. Louise, I'm so glad you're here. Dale, so welcome in, Dale. I would love to, Dale, if you're still in here, I would love to give you a moment to talk. Dale is doing the system also. She's one of my partners. She's amazing. She's beautiful. If she's here, I'd love to have her tell her story as well, because it's amazing. And I have a ton of amazing stories. We'll go over some of them in a minute. Okay, so your cells stop answering. They're overwhelmed. They're inflamed. They've stopped responding. That is insulin resistance. But here's the kicker. The only way to bring insulin down is to stop eating for a while. This is one of my new favorite things. Put the fork down. Put the fork down. We don't need to eat all the time. And even if your fork is just a bag of chips or a candy bar or a protein bar or a Z bar or whatever the heck they're selling you as snacks, we don't need it. We don't need it. We need to eat 2 meals a day full of nutrients. We don't need all the rest. We don't need it. It's a luxury. We don't need it. Stop it. Stop listening to the people who tell you to eat every 2 hours. Because remember, when you eat, insulin goes up. We're going to talk about the hormone cycle in a second and why this piece is so important. Okay. So just hang on. Intermittent fasting is not difficult when you break free from insulin resistance, when you break free from the cycle of addiction, when you break free from the lies they've told you. Intermittent fasting is actually easy. Okay, so it's 2:05. I had dinner a little late last night. I had dinner at 8. So 8 p.m. last night. And what did I have for dinner? Oh, yeah. I didn't have anything really super healthy for me because I was super busy. I had a 4-cheese calzone. Yeah, but I still have my health, right? Because I prefaced it with a pre-meal drink. But every time you eat, you're spiking your insulin. Every time. So 8 o'clock last night was my dinner. 8 o'clock this morning was 12 hours of fasting. I slept through most of it. Is that hard? No. It is 2:06 where I'm at now. So let's count it out. 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 4 more hours. That put me at 16 hours. I'm not hungry. I'm not starving. I'm not worried about food. And yet we're 2 hours past that. I'm at 18 hours of fasting. And I'm not like, oh my God, when do I get to get off and go eat? In fact, I may wait to eat till I go to my son's house because my daughter-in-law is cooking and she's an amazing cook. She'll be fixing dinner about 5. So guess what? I wait a couple more hours and I eat at 5. It's not a big deal because I'm not food addicted. I'm not starving for that next fix, that next candy bar, that next bag of potato chips, that next soda, that next whatever you're grabbing to fill your need. You don't need it. Your body doesn't want it. You don't need it. So stop. And intermittent fasting, you guys, makes it's so easy. I don't even think about it most days. If I wake up tomorrow and I'm super hungry at 10 a.m., I'm going to eat at 10 a.m. But I just try not to eat until 16 hours after my last meal on most days. This isn't a life sentence. It's freeing your life up. And guess what? When you're not spending $15 to $20, I did some research with people that were on the system. And when we broke it down, it was $15 to $20 a day. Unknowingly, people are spending sodas, chips, candy bars, protein cookies, all the stuff, right? And you don't need it. If you do this, you focus on fiber first when you eat, prioritize protein, and this is in my 6 Simple Steps book. You'll get it all, and it's free to you. No cost, no hidden gimmicks, okay? Fiber first, prioritize protein. Don't fear fats. Fill up with healthy fats. Ditch the seed oils, avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, butter, ghee, animal fats. Okay. So fiber, protein, fats. Limit your carbs. Do some time-based eating. If you break your fast, hey Dolores, hey Penny, back in. If you break your fast with protein and fats, this is what's going to happen. We're going to go over the fasting timeline in a second, but let's talk about 3 macronutrients: protein, fats, and carbohydrates. Macronutrients are the big nutrients. Micronutrients are like the vitamins and minerals in your food. We're only going to talk about the macronutrients right now. Vitamins and minerals are important. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Fiber is a carbohydrate. Protein gives you building blocks for your muscle, more than just energy, right? Yeah, carbohydrates, if they're in the forms of fruits and veggies, can give you some nutrients in the form of vitamins and minerals, but your meat can do that too. And then fats, well, like I said, they're good for your hormone, they're good for the cellular structure around the muscle. But here's the thing. When we look at these, and I say that every bite you eat spikes your insulin. When we take a look at fats, they only minimally spike your insulin. They spike your insulin so little that scientists basically say they don't spike your insulin. I mean, the truth is, tiny bit, they do. But for our overall purposes, they're not causing insulin havoc. Fats are supporting your hormones. They're supporting your cell membranes. We need them. The right ones, right? The other interesting thing with fats is that they don't spike your insulin, but they're also very satiating. So now when you eat avocado or something with coconut oil or coconut milk in it, you're getting more satiety, meaning you're going to stay fuller longer. But out of those 3 macronutrients, the one food that keeps you full the longest, so you're not having the breakthrough snacking. Does anybody know what the one food that's the most satiating, keeps you full the longest? Do you know what group that is? 5 are carbohydrates, protein, or fats. Can anybody put it in the chat for me? Which one food makes you feel full the longest and yet delivers nutrients and building blocks? I'm giving you some clues. Do you guys know? Protein. Protein does all of that. Have you ever noticed when you wake up in the morning and you have pancakes and orange juice, you're immediately hungry again? But if you wake up and have bacon and eggs, you're pretty full until lunch or late afternoon, right? Protein is the most satiating, only spikes your insulin about half as much as carbohydrates do. Fats are the next most satiating, don't really spike your insulin at all. What 2 foods would you think you need to focus on the most to start overcoming your insulin resistance? Protein and fats. One big drop for you there. The next one is limit your carbohydrates. However, carbohydrates, natural forms of carbohydrates, have a multitude of fibers in them that we need. So when I'm talking about limit your carbohydrates, if you can stay away from the bagged box, barcoded, highly toxic processed foods, do that. Instead, have a bowl of berries. I saw the most amazing thing in the elevator yesterday. 2 ladies got on. One had a bowl that basically had cherry pits in it. The other had bananas and strawberries in it. And although I don't advocate for eating fruit for meals, I was happy to see that it wasn't a bag of chips, right? It wasn't a bag of chips in their hand. Amazing. They made the shift. Some of the fruits that are best for your insulin resistance: berries and pears. Berries and pears. By the way, pears are really high in chlorogenic acids. That can help you feel satiated and help manage your blood sugars. And they're lower in sugars than some other fruits and higher in fiber. Berries and pears. Remember that. Berries and pears. Berries and pears. Berries and pears. Okay. So let's talk about the fasting. So every time you eat, I've said this, even a bite, even healthy food, you spike your insulin. Now you understand the 3 macronutrients, right? So once insulin goes up, what happens? Well, it takes about 8 hours for insulin to even start dropping. 8 hours. So 8 o'clock last night I ate. That means 8 hours later, around 4 a.m., before my insulin was like, oh, she's not putting more food in her face, I can go and take a rest, because insulin is like the Queen's Guard for your energy, okay? So at 8 hours, it starts dropping. When it starts to go down, there's another hormone called glucagon, and it starts to come out. At about 10 hours is when glucagon goes, hey, I'm out now. We're going to do things differently around here. And then when glucagon comes out, it allows things to start your body to start burning fat. Understand this, insulin stores fat. Insulin is a hormone of growth. It's not going to let you burn fat because it wants things to grow. Glucagon helps you go rally the troops. All that fat you have is energy on your body and start to burn it. But insulin has to be down for glucagon to do that. Okay, that's why intermittent fasting. Now, 10 hours, glucagon is coming out. 12 hours, things like growth hormone and ketones can start to come out at 12 hours. But remember, there's a delay in your body. It doesn't just like, ooh, light switch is on, everything is working. It takes time for those hormones to go through your bloodstream into all the areas that need it, right? So now at hour 14, they're actually active in your system. So now between hours 14 and 16, you're starting to burn fat. You're starting to lose weight. You're starting to have cellular turnover. You're starting to have healing. You're starting to get your body trained to work on something other than sugar. It doesn't happen in one day. It's a lifestyle. But the truth is, we were never built to eat like we're eating, okay? We were never built to eat that way. We were built to feast and famine. Feast and take a break. Have 2 big meals and then take a break. You're not spiking your insulin. You got all your nutrients in. This is not about calorie counting. Understand that. So if you snack, sip, graze too soon, your insulin spikes, and now you got to wait for that 8 hours for all of that 16-hour stuff to happen again. That healing window gets slammed shut. Boom, done. The door's locked. Too bad. So sad. You spiked your insulin. You're done. So what do we do? Well, we create space in between those 2 biggest meals. And we use 2 tools that are putting back what's been stripped out so that it makes it easier, smoother, and more efficient than just willpower alone. Yeah, rainbow light, I agree with you. Our bodies were built to last 100, 120 years. So why don't we see that? Back in the day, we didn't see it. Life was rougher. There was infections. We used to die from things like infections or animal attacks. We didn't die from overeating, or not predominantly, right? Our bodies were made to survive when we treat our bodies right. Look, you wouldn't build a house and put a match to it and expect the house to survive. It's not what the house was for. It's to shelter you. It's to cover you up during rain. Why would you build a house and then go sleep outside in the rain? Why do we have this amazing, amazing body and amazing system, and yet we fill it full of trash? That's what's happening. And it's not, again, I'm going to say it's not your fault. We were bamboozled, you guys. Good afternoon, Gabby. Welcome, Trent. It's good to see you. Okay, so you guys understand that our food is defunct. That's the problem. So we're using intermittent fasting, and we're using 2 tools that make everything easier for you to start getting better, and it doesn't have to be difficult. It's not just a caffeine hit. I'm talking about the tea. I skipped that part. The tea that I drink. This one, okay? This tea. It's a highly, highly concentrated form of yerba mate tea. You've all seen it on TikTok Shop. You've all seen all the talk about yerba mate and chlorogenic acids and natural GLP-1 stimulation. This does that. But guess what? It's 375 times more potent in that chlorogenic acid than most of those teas that you're looking at. It doesn't have to be steeped. It doesn't have to. We've done all the work. You pour this in some water. I'm going to show you in just a second, and drink it down. Super easy. I can have it hot or cold. But what the tea is doing, I'm going to go back to you. It's not just a caffeine hit. It's a yerba mate concentrate that's clinically shown, actual studies, to boost energy and mental clarity. In fact, this can boost they've shown in a short study that it can increase your feelings of wellness by up to 70%. It reduces cravings by helping you feel more satiated, by helping you get energy to your brain and your body that you're needing in the first place. That's why you're hungry. It elevates your mood via dopamine and serotonin pathways. It supports fat metabolism, and it naturally extends your fasting windows without the crash. This is one thing that I can drink. You see me sipping on it now in my fasting window because it doesn't spike my insulin. It doesn't break my fast. It supports it, helping me create more ketones, more growth hormone, helping me stay fuller longer, helping my body deal with sugar better, helping my body regulate insulin better. And suddenly fasting doesn't feel like deprivation because I couldn't fast before. My son talked to me about it for years. And I was like, yeah, son, it sounds cool, but I just can't do it. I get about 12 hours in and I'd be like, gotta eat, gotta eat. I'm so cranky, I gotta eat. This resolves that. Add water with sugar-free water packets. Gabby. So Gabby, one thing that I understand with powder creamer, what I want you to take a look at with the powder creamer, don't know what one you're using. Many of them are built on seed oils. Seed oils cause inflammation in your system, and then that can start to spike insulin even without additional calories. So be careful of that, right? So yeah, I do this instead of coffee, right? This gives me sustained energy. It doesn't give me the crashes. It gives me better energy, smoother energy, does all the things I talked about that coffee doesn't do, and it doesn't hurt my heart rate. My blood pressure was 180 over 150 when I started the system. It's 110 over 74 now. No medications. This helped me with that. Coffee never did. In fact, I couldn't drink coffee for years because my blood pressure was so bad. This helped heal my blood pressure. Got it? So there's a big difference. I would invite you to make the switch. Try it. Try it for 90 days and see how much different you feel with coffee. But if you're still drinking coffee, yeah, just do stevia. You know, they have the flavors. Make sure that if you're putting a creamer in, I would much rather have you put in a tablespoon of whole cream than those packets. Healthier for you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now the tea, you sip it in the morning or you can drink it whole. In the wintertime, I make it in a smaller cup and I drink it hot. So that's cool, right? I get to have it hot or cold. It comes in lemon or lemon ginger. Lemon ginger is kind of spicy and I like it, but I don't like it all the time. But I do drink this cold every morning and then again in the afternoon. This is actually 2 teas in this cup. So I've been sipping on it all morning. I'm about halfway done. By the time I get to my son's house for dinner, I'll have this finished. Now, it's not a struggle to finish it. It tastes amazing. It tastes like a lemon iced tea. I like drinking it, but I know that every sip I take, I'm increasing GLP-1, I'm increasing satiety, I'm helping my gut, and I'm helping my insulin sensitivity, and I'm staying on my fast that helps me control insulin better. Okay, energy, satiety, mental clarity, tons of nutrients. This has every nutrient or nearly every nutrient needed to sustain human life naturally occurring in that tea at such high amounts that the Argentinians who pick it in their unconcentrated form use it to sustain life in times of hardship. They call it the food of the gods. It's amazing. We've just taken it and removed the bulk of the plant. So you get the tea and all the goodness without having to weed through all the stems and leaves and tossing all that away. This all gets dissolved into my water. I drink it down. We're good to go. Plus, it's been purified. A lot of those other products that you see out there have microplastics in them, have molds in them, have pesticides in them, have other environmental toxins in them. Okay. We have cleaned that out. So now you're getting something when you're trying to build your health that's not giving you more of the negative stuff that's causing inflammation and damage. We've removed it. It's the cleanest tea that I know of on the market. It's crazy good. Okay, so that's the tea. Sip it in the morning, have it again in the afternoon. It's going to keep your hunger down, keep your energy up. It's doable. It's calm. You feel calm and you feel focused. Okay, it's freaking amazing for me. But the second component, because this is a synergistic system. So my day looks like this. I have 2 teas in a day. I just choose to mix mine both in one big mug, and I have a pre-meal drink before I eat anything. You guys will just have one before your biggest meal. So I haven't eaten yet. There'll probably be pasta or some kind of bread involved tonight. That's how my daughter-in-law cooks. I will drink this before. There's a free app called Yuka that tells you what is in everything you want to eat. That's crazy good. I like that, Rainbow. I'm going to save that. I've not heard of that one before, so I'm going to go look it up. Thank you for that information. That's really good, because you could be a label reader like me, or you know what? We're so inundated with AI, and I'm going to tell you I love AI. Yeah, can you take your phone and scan it and say, "Yeah, this is probably not a food I want," because I used to love cereal. It's not even in my house because I now know how damaging that breakfast cereal can be. By the way, let's pause for a second off the normal path. When they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, I know many of you know this. I know some of you don't. Do you know where that came from? Where that little saying came from? Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Does anybody know? Does anybody? And it's okay if you don't, because I didn't know before I knew, right? We don't, again, you don't know what you don't know until you learn what you don't know. So here we go. Kellogg's, cereal place, developed a food that in actuality, they were trying to dampen men's sexual urges. Is that crazy? Cereal, because it's increasing insulin, it's doing a whole lot of stuff. But they created this cereal, and in order to sell it, they created this slogan that breakfast was the most important meal of the day. So buy our cereal. Have it with a glass of orange juice. You're going to feel sicker, but hey, it's the most important meal of the day. A cereal company came up with that. Are you still listening to it? Are you still believing that breakfast is the biggest, the best meal of the day? So the breakfast is the way we've seen it at 8 o'clock in the morning with cereal and bagel and stuff. That is not the most important meal of the day. Break fast, which I will have my break fast whenever I eat the first time today. My break fast should be what? Protein and fats. Protein and fats. On a normal day, like I don't eat a ton of bacon anymore. I try to get no nitrate bacon, but I'll have eggs and sausage, something like that. I make all kinds of stuff with eggs and sausage, or eggs and cottage cheese and sausage, whatever. Protein and fats is how I start my day, how I break my fast. What that does is it sets my body up with nutrients and building blocks that it needs so it can go to town without spiking my insulin up tremendously high and starting that whole negative cycle again. But I'm also giving my body food that's helping me feel satiated, that's helping me feel in control, that's helping me not need to snack in 2 hours and have a Snickers bar. Okay, protein and fats, that's how you break your fast. So in that manner, break fast is the most important meal of the day. Doesn't mean that break fast has to occur at 8 in the morning. Could happen at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Fats and protein are what you want to have for that meal. Have your carbohydrates a little bit later. Okay. There's lots of trains of thought on that too, lots of different ways, but that's why I'm here to coach you so you can understand all that. Now, the fiber part, the pre-meal part, it's not just fiber. It's a precision blend of 7 plant-based fibers, not cellulose, not wood pulp. No, real food fibers that slow glucose absorption. It has phytosterols in it that support cholesterol and hormone balance. It has essential minerals and vitamins that your body needs to regulate metabolism. So now I have 2 teas a day that are high in vitamins and minerals. I have at least 1 pre-meal drink, mostly 2 a day, that are high in vitamins and minerals. Do you wonder why I never take a vitamin pill? I never eat a vitamin gummy, because all of my vitamins come from here. Now, I've worked with a naturopathic physician for years, and he has a German technology that uses these little electrodes and stuff, and he can tell where my vitamin and mineral panels are. And they're pretty perfect. No supplementation, eating real world food, adding this system in. I get what I need from the food. And that's the key for this. It's giving us back what's been stripped out, what's been missing, that's not allowing our metabolism to function the way it's supposed to, or our body to deal with the food that it's supposed to. Okay. And by the way, Sunny, I don't know if you're still here, but that bloated belly, that's visceral fat that insulin cues your brain to say, oh, we need more visceral fat. So you start getting this bloated belly, this pooching out belly, because you're building fat under the muscle wall of your belly, of your stomach. And now your kidneys, your intestines, your stomach, your lungs, your heart, your spleen, all of it is starting to get crowded out and overloaded, and your liver starts to get fatty and starts to get cirrhosed. So it has scarring, and now you have problems. your kidneys are suffering too. All that fat, that belly fat that pokes out, that's part of it. Understand that symptom. So the fiber also gives you those essential minerals that help regulate your metabolism, but it also stimulates your GLP-1. So now I have 2 products that I'm having at 3 points during the day, filling in the gaps of what the food industry lied to us and stole from us. And both of them are increasing my own natural GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide 1. And what that does is it helps us burn more fat and keep insulin levels regulated. Both of these, not only all the other stuff that they do, they both help us produce GLP-1. Now, this not as much. This up to 70% more GLP-1 production than just a person eating normally. And in today's world, we need that because we're not getting the nutrients that help us do it anyway. This is just righting that wrong that the food industry did us, right? The food industry did us wrong. This is just putting that back. So, but you're also getting gut healing support from the fiber. This fiber, and I asked Dr. Bickman this personally because I did a 10-day fast a couple of years ago, and I'm like, I want to see what happens when I take these products during a fast. Does it break? Because at that time, nobody was talking about this does not break your fast. Does not break your fast. Now, if I have an acidic stomach, if I have a hunger breakthrough, even though I'm drinking my tea and I just want to keep my fast going, but I want to feed my gut microbiome, I want to start having that change around. I want to start addressing that acid in my stomach. I drink one of these. It coats my stomach. It slows down the acid. It slows down the hunger. It fills up my gut and helps me feel fuller. And yet it's working my intestines at the same time. So I have an overall healthier intestinal tract. And that makes a difference for your metabolism. If your gut is sick, the rest of your body is sick. And look, I don't have the lid for this, but I'm going to do this because I just want to drink it right now. So I'm talking about it enough. This is the packet, right? The fiber and the tea come in this packet. So I just rip off this top like that. It's in a skinny packet so that it fits in the top of a water bottle. Stop at a gas station. Stop at an airport. You need your fiber. You need your tea. You're just going to pour it in. Pour it into the water just like that. No steeping, no weirdness, no carrying a canister around. I know Metamucil has individual packets now too. We'll talk about that. This is not the same as this. So now I'm going to shake it up about 4 times, right? That much water, about 4 times. And that's that. What I want you to see is that foaming and that stuff that's building up around the bottle. When that hits the enzymes in my gut, that starts to thicken up even more. Now it's controlling sugar. Now it's helping me feel fuller. Now, this, where I was going with the fast. I did this during a 10-day fast, and I measured my ketones, not my blood sugars, because your blood sugars change all the time. I checked my ketones. My ketones went up drastically when I had this, because this has specific fibers in it that are great for feeding your gut microbiome. And when they start eating this, they create something called short chain fatty acids, butyrate, propionate, acetate. Things we need get produced when fiber hits our gut, and that microbiome in there, that bacteria in there starts eating it. Now this is feeding the good bacteria, not the bad bacteria. Now you're feeling satiated. Now you're feeling better. Now you don't have Tums and omeprazole and Pepcid all day long because you just don't need it. So okay, so Ladybug Magic. I wish I had been your coach. So here's the thing. I don't like the tea in a strong amount either. So when you get your bottle, I'm going to ask you, maybe try again. I don't know if you use the 90-day money back guarantee, but you can once. All right. So it says to mix the water up to here. I mix much more water in my tea than this, unless I'm having it hot. Then I like it potent. The rest of the time, I'm mixing it in, a bigger jug so that it is a little watered down. If you don't like, if it's too sweet, just add some more water to it. That's not a problem. This is not stringent. You have to mix it in this amount. Sometimes I mix it in half the water. Sometimes I mix it in almost double the water. I just sip on it, whatever's comfortable for me, whatever my taste is. You can adjust it. You can put other teas in it. You can put, as long as it doesn't have sugar or carbohydrates, you can add it to it and change the flavor a little bit for your own needs. Okay. So I have dumped in, like, we have a great, one of the things this for me, I add in our chai oka matcha sometimes, changes the flavor profile, cuts that lemon sweet flavor for me sometimes, but I do like it either way. I also have put in our Bone Fortify, which is a berry flavored um, bone complex, and it just makes it a little more berry flavored. But again, just add some water to it and it won't be as sweet. And if you decide to try it again, use my link and I will coach you and help you. And you'll text me every day if you want to. I've had people text me every day till they're used to it. I don't care. I will answer you. Okay. Text me, ask me questions. I will help you through, because I want you to get to that 90 days so you can see what it does for you and how good you'll feel. And then that little, it tastes too sweet for me, is no longer a problem because you can adjust it. All right. So any other questions so far? All right. So you got gut healing, you got satiety, you got GLP-1, you got phytosterols, you got vitamins and minerals, you got good gut microbiome, you got insulin sensitivity going on, and you just start feeling better. I was not prepared. You guys, when I started, let's have some real talk. When I started, I was trying to address diabetes. That was the number one thing on my list. And maybe lose some weight. Diabetes, lose some weight. Diabetes, lose some weight. Okay, that's what I expected out of the system. I did not expect my joints to stop deteriorating, my skin tags to go away, that dark skin coloration on my neck, my face, my arms, my knees, all of that to go away. My hair to stop falling out and grow in. I've cut it, but it was about a month ago. It was the longest it's been in my life. At 61, I had better hair growth than ever. My eyesight's better. My teeth and gums are not bleeding. My skin looks better. My intestines are better. My gut health is better. My liver is clearing up. My kidneys are better. My heart, my blood pressure is resolved. I didn't expect all of that. I expected to get help with my diabetes and some weight. Oh, yeah. And I lost 55 pounds and kept it off over the last 4 years. And I eat hamburgers. I had a 4-cheese calzone for dinner. I eat pizza when I want it, but for the most part, I eat pretty healthy, right? I eat healthier things most days. But when I want something, I have it. I don't worry about it. I'm not like, oh my God, I can never eat that again, or it's going to destroy my whole health, my whole life, and everything's going to just be done. I don't have to live like that. Neither do you. Okay, so you don't need a dozen supplements. You don't need a complicated plan. You need space to heal and support that works with your biology, not against it. And this protocol gives you both. It allows you to work with your fasting and make that easy. It gives you nutrition. It gives you the building blocks that your body needs to start functioning. Okay. So now what happens? Life before the protocol, and those of you who are on the protocol or have used it, help me out with this. So this is what life can start to feel like again. This is from my purview, okay? So after everything we've talked about, you might be wondering what actually starts to change when I begin. Well, let me paint a picture for you. Not a picture of perfection, but of possibility. I want you to stop chasing results and start feeling them. Stop chasing results. Start feeling them. Stop destroying your body in one area to get results in another. Start building your health across the board. Okay. So you wake up feeling clearer. Your energy comes through already steady instead of spiking and crashing. You feel calmer. Your hunger finally quiets down. Your mental fog starts to lift. Your clothes start to fit differently, not because you're starving, because your body's finally getting a break and beginning to respond the way it always was meant to. So, caveat, little sidebar, guys, sidebar. I want to talk about something really important. How many hours from lunch to dinner do you need to fast? You don't fast in between your meals. It's really a 4 to 8 hour eating window. So you want to try and stop the snacking in there so you're not constantly spiking your insulin. You have 2 meals. It's not a prescribed time. You want to give yourself at least 4 hours between meals for you to digest through and utilize what you've had, and then have that next meal at least within an 8 hour window and then cut it off. So 8 hours is your eating window. Your time in between there is up to you. Okay. And so from dinner to your first meal, 16 hours is where you want to fast, okay? But the eating window is 8. And that can adjust. Your 16 hours can go a little longer, your 8 hours can go a little less. It's a guideline, okay? But you want to give yourself at least 16 hours. If you have a day, like I said, my grandson comes over once a week and spends the night. He loves to have pancakes for breakfast with his Nana. We make protein pancakes and I fill them up with sausage, but I'll have breakfast with them. And then I have lunch with them. And then I have dinner with them. One day a week, I have 3 meals instead of 2. And guess what? I'm not diabetic. My blood pressure didn't go back to being what it was. I'm not losing my joints anymore. I'm not suffering with sleep apnea. I feel fine. This is easy. It's meant to be simple and sustainable. It's not meant to make your life complicated. None of us need more complication in today's world than we already have, right? Can I get an amen on that one? Guys, if there's more complication, like I love AI, but getting Facebook taken away from me yesterday for no apparent reason was like traumatic. I have 4 pages on there. Shut down. Shut down. AI, social media, all of this is great, but it can be overwhelming. We just don't need more overwhelm in our lives. Okay, so you feel calmer, you feel more in balance. Your blood sugar starts to balance, your sleep improves, crazy cravings lose their grips, mood steadies. Somewhere along the way, you start to feel like you again. But back to the weight thing. So I lost 55 pounds, right? More than 55 pounds. I think it was closer to 65. Now, I've put about 10 pounds back on. Oh my God. The other shoe dropped. But I want to tell you something. Weight is not about the scale. The fat on your body has more to do with the hormones and your size than the scale. So 4 years ago, when I lost that initial about 65 pounds and I got thin, and then I lost my gallbladder, that changes everything. And then life happens, right? I started putting weight on and I felt really bad about it for a while. But guess what? Let's talk about this. Insulin resistance depletes your muscles. So you have less muscle on your body, which weighs more than fat. I'm not going to get into the old debate about that. We know that muscle weighs more than fat per volume. Insulin resistance robs you of muscle, fills you with fat. When I lost that initial 65 pounds, it was fat. I didn't lose a ton of muscle to do that. Why did I gain 10 pounds back? Because now that my body's insulin sensitive and I'm more active and I'm eating foods filled with nutrients, guess what happened? Natural muscle mass came back. Shirts that were loose when I lost the 65 are still loose. They're still fitting the same, even though I'm gaining back more lean mass every month, every day that I'm on the system and doing what it takes to keep myself insulin sensitive, because now my body can utilize the nutrients in the building blocks, and shifting to focusing on protein puts more muscle on. That's where that difference is. So when you start, make sure you take measurements, make sure you write down everything that you're doing, make sure you write down all of your symptoms, because you're going to be shocked when they start to go away. You're also going to be shocked when you're like, if you're like me, 30 days in, I hadn't lost any weight and I was pissed off. Like, this was supposed to be the thing. This was supposed to be the thing that worked for me, and I haven't lost any weight. But guess what? I hadn't taken measurements, so I went and got some shorts that I bought that were way too tight, wouldn't fit me, but I was just like determined that I was going to wear them by summer. In the couple of months, by the time summer came, the shorts were too big. I could no longer wear them. I forced myself to wear them 3 times, even though they were baggy, and I had to give them away. But in 1 month time, I went and got those shorts that I couldn't buckle up, that were too tight around my butt and my legs, and I put them on and they were comfortable. So no, my scale weight didn't lose, but my body composition was changing. And I want you to understand that when you actually give your body nutrients and eat in a way that's healthy, you will lose fat and start to put on lean tissue. Hey, Jason, it's good to see you. So understand that, okay? So here's what's beautiful with this, though. You're not doing it alone. You get me. I like I said, you get to text me every day if you want. I will answer you. Yes, I have hundreds of people that I have to talk to, but if I see your text come through and you have a question, I'm going to make sure you get answered. That's the way it goes. That's why you use my link, right, Jason? Hey, Jason. So you get me, you get the lowest price available. You never pay more than I do, and I never pay more than the guy who got me onto this. You get a full 90-day money-back guarantee. How many of your doctors, Ozempic, any of those other things, said, I'll give you a 90-day money-back guarantee? Maria, yes. Let me write down, because I will forget. I will forget stuff. But Maria, I will text you. And you guys, here's the thing. I do have WhatsApp. So if you're in another country, even as close as Canada, because I'm in the US, use WhatsApp. It's encrypted, it's safe. You guys, no charges, just WhatsApp me. And if you're in the US and you're one of us that don't like to use WhatsApp, just use my regular number and I'll get it to you if you just ask me. It's also in my link. But Maria, I will get it to you. Okay. So you get my personal support to walk with you. You get the tools that are backed by real science, no hype and no fluff. It's not a fad. It's not a crash fix. It's a system that supports your body in doing what it was designed to do. Let's go back to the first. You did not fail. You were failed. You've been lied to. Now you know the truth. Now we can start getting you better. Okay. Observer, thanks for joining. Lee the VA, thanks for sharing that link out so that somebody else can get this information. If you're showing, and look, you guys, if you're showing up and it's the very end of this live, and I've gone live way longer than I intended to, but this is all housed over on YouTube. Just type in Misha Fay on YouTube and you'll see my channel. It's called Brilliant Health with Misha. Go there, find all the lives, binge watch if you want, learn some things. Let's get you healthier. But if you need to watch the whole thing, go back there. And then I post clips of this later, shorts. You started 2 weeks in and you're doing great. I hope to get rid of your periodontal disease. Amazing. You guys, blood issues, gout, heart, periodontal, eyesight, blood flow issues, right? It does get better. My mouth was a blood faucet every time I brushed my teeth. Doesn't happen now. Okay? Stick with it. Be consistent. And guess what? Here's the thing, you guys. Even if you screw up, even if you're not perfect, even if you have a moment where you're human, get back on. You didn't destroy anything. You just had a little setback. Keep going. You'll do fine. You'll get better. I've had setbacks. I know that some of my clients have had setbacks. We're human. We are not perfect. Don't berate yourself for the setback. Just get back on. Jason, would you like to come live and talk to these people today? Would you like to come on with me? Just say yes if you do, and I'll invite you on because Jason has an amazing story all the way around. Jason is a warrior and he has an amazing story. Just let me know if you're ready to hop in. Okay, so if you're wondering, could this really help me? My honest answer is this. Yes. Yes. And the other honest answer is there's only one way to find out. It's not by sitting in the same cycle that's left you stuck. It's not by sitting there not doing anything different because you got all this information, but you're not going to act on it, right? It's not that. It's like somebody who goes to college all the time and then just never puts their knowledge to use. You've already tried willpower, workouts, and one-size-fits-all advice. Now it's time to try something different, something that actually aligns with your biology and your reality. You don't have to do everything. You just have to take the first step, backed by a 90-day money-back guarantee. So look, you try it. You don't like it. It doesn't work for you. Doubtful. But you're like, this just isn't for me. It's not what I thought. You get your money back. How many other things have ever let you do that? Jason, I see you. Your phone doesn't let you talk anymore. Uh-oh. Okay, so Jason, can I tell a little bit? Jason started out at over 463 pounds. He's just over 200 pounds now. He blew me away. His A1C was 13.3, Jason, and it's now like 4.7. Perfect range. He's lost over 200 pounds. He's gotten his health back. His testosterone levels are back to normal. His mood is back to normal. But guess what? Even with all the amazing results Jason had, he's human. And he had a moment where he wasn't doing everything the way he was supposed to. And he relapsed a little bit. And that was embarrassing for him. It was hard. And thank you for sharing that with us, Jason, because everybody is human. He ended up in the hospital with some diabetic foot sores. Not a good place to be. And that was the wake up call he needed to go. I got to get back on the system and I got to be diligent with this. Okay. So now he's back and now he's healing again. And now I believe that he's not going to fall off again because he saw how devastating it can be for your body when you're not getting the right support, especially with this crappy food we have around us today. Welcome in, Aaron. Welcome in, B. Okay. You guys, thanks. Thanks for joining. Okay. So you've tried the willpower, the workouts, the one size fits all advice. Now, honestly, try something different. You don't have to do it all. Just take that first step. I'll be here with you. We have an amazing community of people who are here with you that would love to connect with you. So just drop the word help in the comments. If you're on this live stream, just drop the word here. I'll come back and check or message me the word help and I'll get you all the information. Okay. No pressure. Look, if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. When you decide it is, come talk to me. If you're not ready yet, that's okay. You got to be ready or you're not going to be consistent anyway. But if you're like me, and you might be ready for more than even this, okay? Here's what I've seen, and maybe you'll feel it too. When you start feeling better, when the energy comes back, the cravings settle, and the fog lifts, you can't help but want to tell someone else. I wanted to tell everybody because I struggled for so long and nobody helped me that when I started feeling better, I was like this big beacon of insulin resistance. And look at me 4 years later, here I go. Still the same. Sammy Joe, welcome in. So you want to tell people, right? This is what can happen though. When you start the system and you naturally want to tell people, or people are like, what did you do to lose weight? Are you on that shot? No, I'm not. I'm doing something really good, right? I'm doing something really good for my body. So now when you refer them, because you get your own link with your own guarantees, just like I have, you get to refer your friends. When you refer them and they try the system, you get $10 off your next month. But guess what? That's not just the first time. They become a lifer like me and they buy every month. You get that $10 discount every month. You get 5 people in your family who want to feel better, who want to have control of their life. You're getting $50 off a month. Simple. You're helping people. You're getting a discount. Now, it happens every single time they buy, and not just the product, anything that we buy, that we have. So 5 people, $50 again and again and again, just for being real about what helped you. But if you're like me and you're ready to build something more meaningful, something flexible, purposeful, and in alignment with who you are, especially if you love helping people. I spent my life helping people. You can turn this into a part-time or even full-time income. Depends on what you want. Want to pay off the car note? You have an opportunity to find a vehicle to do that with this. You want to go on a vacation and you got to save up. You can do that. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to have all the knowledge and all the science that I have. You'll learn what you need. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. You just have to share it with other people and let them know that you're just like them. And because you got better, they can get better too. And it doesn't have to all fall on your shoulders. I have a lot of science knowledge. There's people above me who do. We all help you. You get all the answers. I'll always be right here to support you, whether it's just the product or whether you're doing the business. And just because you do the product doesn't mean you have to do the business. It's not how this works. But I'm here to help support both. Okay. I'll help you with answering questions. I'll help you guide through the journey, and I'll make sure you never feel lost. You got questions? I'll answer. There are no scripts, no pressure, just a chance to share something that's real and let it grow from there. Only if it feels like a fit. Only if you're curious. So if the idea of helping others and creating freedom in your own life sounds good, drop the word opportunity in the comments or message me directly. Remember, help if you want to know about your health and the products. Opportunity if you want to know how to make some more income. Both if you want to know both. Okay? But there's no complication. There's no stress for either one. I'm simply giving you information and hoping that you can see the opportunity for your health and your finances, and that you take hold of it. I am not pushy. I am not that kind of person. Okay. So if you want the questions answered, just ask. I'll check in with you from time to time, but I'm not going to harass you. Okay. All right. So if you like the idea of helping others and making some income, just message me opportunity. Okay. No pressure, no weirdness, just genuine path to feel better and share it with the people you love and get rewarded for helping others do the same thing. So, all that sound good? Okay. So let me leave you with this. And then we'll go into some questions if you have it. And then I'm going to get off because it's family night. I get to go have time with my family today. I didn't start this business because I had it all figured out. I started because I didn't have any of it figured out. I was suffering with my finances. I was barely able to pay my bills. My health was in distress. I was feeling like my whole life was just tossed down the drain because here I am in my 50s and I felt like I had no way out. No way out, both with my health and my finances. Okay. So I started because I was sick and tired and desperate for something real. And I wouldn't be here if this wasn't real. I've been approached by Amway, by Monet, by doTERRA, by a number of other places, and they're all great companies. But I never had the belief in being able to help people so simply as I do with this that I ever took it on. Okay. I do this because I believe in it. I do this and I speak up about it because I believe in it. I know when I lay my head down at night that I can feel good about what I did. They don't have somebody coming at me for a number of things. It happens. You know what happens. I feel good about what I share. I feel good about what I talk about. I feel good about it because even if you don't do the system, hopefully you got something today that's going to help you. And yes, I sleep well knowing that I did that for my day on my terms. Getting to go spend time with my family when I want. Okay. Even though I was fearful, I never believed, just honest truth. You guys, I will always be honest with you and as upfront as I can. Even when I didn't believe in this business model, I had hope that it would work. I'm kind of crazy. So I like to have things planned, but I kind of jump in from time to time. I had hope that it would work. And when it started working, and when I started realizing that it's a viable opportunity, my whole world changed. I was able to 5x my income, quit the 2 jobs I had, work from my home, have time for my family, travel the world. You guys, even when it's tough, it's easier than what it was. Even when Facebook gets shut down and they have hundreds of messages to respond to that I can no longer address, it's easier than the offices I would go into and gaslit and yelled at by clients and doctors and all the stuff. You guys, it's so much better. And my family loves it because I'm always available. I am now the Nana, the grandma that I always wanted to be. Supportive of my family, there for them when they need me, taking care of the grandkids. And I love my family. Anytime they call, I want to be there. But if I was working 2 jobs, I couldn't. Yesterday, my daughter took her car they had to get the windshield replaced. She needed a ride home. Ring, ring. Hey, Mom, can you come? And by the way, can you come help me get that grandson of yours from school today? Because he'll need a ride home too. Now, look, if I was working in a doctor's office, I wouldn't be able to break away, go pick up my grandson, surprise him. And the look on his face when I picked him up from school was priceless. Sweet, loving little boy. And then I got to hang out with him. And then I came home and did some more work. But I did it on my terms, not on somebody else's. I didn't work my ass off all day long dealing with all the stuff to make a pittance of a wage and make somebody else wealthy. I did it for me and the people in my life that need the help. Okay? If I'm just, again, there's no, if it's either for you or it's not. It's either for you or it's not. If you want to give it a shot, because you may as well, then let me know, because I'm willing to be here to help you. We have a great community. We have a great system. I have a ton of tools already set up for you to be able to just use. You don't have to do it alone. Remember that. Okay. So this decision gave me the kind of freedom I thought I'd never have. And it's not just the dollars that came in. Let's be honest. We all have bills to pay, mouths to feed, lives to fund, cars to pay for, vacations we would like to go on. But what I've gained from doing this business goes so far beyond income. It's the relationships I've built with some of the people you've heard me talking to on here. And welcome in those of you. Hopefully, we'll be able to build a relationship and do something great together too. Okay. So it's about those relationships, the ability to be present for my family in ways that I couldn't ever even imagine before. It's the messages I get from people whose lives are changing, who don't have acid reflux anymore, who lost 200 pounds. I gained a Jason, and I love my Jason. Jason is an amazing man, and I wouldn't have met Jason, who's a beautiful soul in this world, if it wasn't for this business. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't have that opportunity to know him, to know his story, to know how much better he's doing, to know that real change has happened for him. Okay. It's the stories of hope, healing, and finally feeling seen. Because healing is one thing, but feeling seen in your journey, whether it's your finances or your health, that's important. That's important to us all. Don't don't even, you guys, I'm so sick of all the fakeness that money doesn't matter, that I'm just doing something for money. We all need money. Connections don't matter. We all need to feel loved and wanted and secure. We all need that. Those are all things we need. Okay. This whole thing fills my soul in a way no paycheck ever could. If you want that feeling too, reach out to me. Again, no pressure. I'll show you what it is. It's up to you to decide. What do you want to do? Which way are you going to go? So now I want to ask you this. What are you missing out on? Simply because you haven't had an option that actually works for you on your terms. What? Or another one, what are some of the goals you have, some of the things you want to do, the places you want to go, but you haven't found the right vehicle, way to make money to make it happen? What could you do if you had the vehicle that allowed you to achieve your goals, your wants, your dreams? Okay. So is it your health, your energy, your finances, your time, your freedom, being able to travel? All of those were important to me, and all of those got fulfilled. It doesn't have to stay the way it's been. You don't have to feel sick, and you don't have to be financially disabled. If it all feels aligned, lean in. Put a help for the product, an opportunity if you're interested or curious about the business. Again, I'm not going to harass you. I'm not going to harangue you. I'm going to give you information and let you make up your mind. Because the last thing I want is somebody on my team who felt forced to be there. I want people who are ready, willing, want to serve themselves, their family, their community, and do it in a way they never imagined. That's what I want. People who don't believe in it, there's something else for you, and that's great. Not maybe with me, but that's okay, right? We all have different paths. Help for the products, opportunity for the business. I would love to help you with either one. And it's a pretty amazing life on this side. You guys, I've made a couple of moves across the country that I would have never been able to sustain. In fact, before I jump off, I said DMP chill and I said dump. Your name threw me, DMP. Okay, so I started out in southern Idaho with my kids, moved to northern Idaho, eastern Washington to help my daughter and my other 3 grandkids. My son took a job. I'm just going to say, if there's a mama who's proud of her son, it's me. My son is freaking amazing. He took a job with GE, had to move to Maryland, and I was devastated because that's where my 8-year-old grandson belongs, is with him. When they moved away, I thought, how am I ever going to see him again? My financial reality was I can barely afford to drive to the store, much less go to Maryland to visit my grandson. But within about a year and a half of doing this business, I was able to increase my income enough that I let go of nearly everything in Washington state, sold off what was left, moved across the country, replaced everything, and was able to be close to my grandson. and be present for him. And I have dinners with him on Wednesday. I have him on the weekends. He gets his nana whenever he wants. If I hadn't have found this opportunity, I wouldn't be able to do that. Guess what? My son, let's talk about it. He hates when I talk about him, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm so proud of him. He was working on A-10s for the Air Force, got this job with GE. A-10 is going away. It's not going to be a plane the U.S. uses anymore in their armed forces. So he had to find another job. GE found one for him, but that meant we had to move to Kentucky. So Maria, no, I'm now in Kentucky. I'm in northern Kentucky. But again, I wouldn't have been able to move from southern Idaho to Washington to Maryland to Kentucky had I been the small town girl driving Lyft and Uber or 2 medical jobs to get there. I wouldn't have been able to do it. But like now, next month, I'm driving back to Washington. I have a little car there that I'm going to bring out here. But I also want to grab my grandkids and bring them across the nation and take them to some places. So we're going to spend about 10 days traveling from Washington State to Kentucky, and I'm going to take them by some some sites and visit my mom and visit my sister. But that doesn't mean I have to take time off of work. It means I take my work with me because this phone, it's all I need. It's where I do my work. I can do it in my office. I can do it in my car. I feel like I should have a Dr. Seuss song about this right now. On a plane, on a train, in a bus. I can do my job anywhere. And it doesn't mean that taking this time to go visit my family, to see my mama who fell last year and broke everything on her left side, and we're all worried that she might not make it another year. I get to go visit her, spend good time with her, take my grandkids to see her. If I had a regular job, I don't know if those opportunities would have been there for me. But they are now. Okay. It's opened up so much. We'll have some more talks. If you have questions, like I'm an open book. Ask me questions. I would love to answer. But in the meantime, remember those 2 words, help and opportunity. And I'm here to help you. And I want to help you. I want to see you. I want to have your success story like Jason's losing over 200 pounds and taking his A1C from 13.3 to 4.7. Crazy stuff. Those are stories I want to share. Those are stories of hope and success that I want everybody to hear. I want you to break free from all the lies that they've been telling us. I want you to start to see what's real and what can really happen for you when you take that first step. All right. I'm going to go. I got to get ready to go see my family, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully the social media stuff is somewhat reconciled. So I don't have my Facebook page back yet. We're going to get it back. Remember, if you want to watch this, if you want to watch more of my content, please go to YouTube where you can browse it, or check my profile here. The shorts are all here on TikTok. If you're on YouTube, all of the videos are there. You guys, thank you. Thank you for spending so much time with me when I talk. But I love you all. I really want the best for you. I want you to find a better path in life for your health and your finances. Let's do it. Let's do it. I did. And if I did it, autistic, introverted, you can too. All right. We'll see you later. Bye, guys.